If you want to buy a new gaming PC build that's going to be amazing, not only for performance right now, but also for performance in the future, where you can upgrade basically anything, and it's actually great in terms of price to performance right now, then this video is going to be for you. I will explain why this PC is so upgradable over time. I will also give you different graphics card options, and I will explain everything as simply as possible. That way, if you're a beginner to PCs, you are able to understand me. And I will also show you the estimated FPS at 1440p and also 1080p if you want a lower resolution. All the links to these components will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. So first, let's talk about the CPU. Here we have the AMD Ryzen 5 7600, which is a very good 6-core CPU that is going to give you plenty of performance, and it will be more than enough for most GPUs. The reason why I went with Ryzen is because we are on the AM5 platform, which means that if you want to upgrade to a better CPU from AMD down the line, you will not have to upgrade the motherboard at least anytime soon. Where, for example, if you go with Intel and then you want to upgrade to the next generation of Intel CPUs, you will have to upgrade the motherboard in order to be compatible with the new CPU. So here you are saving yourself upgrading the motherboard as well if you want to upgrade the CPU. Then for the CPU cooler, we have the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120. Now this one is an overkill for the Ryzen 5 7600 since it doesn't consume any power basically, and you can get away with the stock cooler from AMD, which is free. But the reason why I picked this one is because if down the line you want to upgrade to a more beefy CPU, for example the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is very power efficient but it does consume more power than the 7600, then you will not have to upgrade your CPU cooler since you already have a very capable one. Then for the motherboard, we have the ASRock B650E PG Riptide with Wi-Fi included. This is from the AM5 platform, of course, and it has plenty of features. It comes with Wi-Fi, really good VRMs, which is helpful if you want to upgrade to a higher end CPU down the line for better temps. It has BIOS flashback in case you need it, and also it has 4 M.2 slots, which means that if you want to upgrade the storage down the line because you need more, you can always upgrade for more. Then for the memory kit, we have 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5 memory at 6000 MHz CL30 timings, very fast speeds, and since you get 32 gigs of RAM, you get great performance not only for gaming but also for streaming, content creation, and productivity work. Then for the storage, you get a 1TB Gen 3 SSD, which is going to be enough for most people, but as I said before, you have more M.2 slots in your motherboard, which means that if down the line you need 2TB or more, you can always upgrade with no issues. Then for the graphics card and the most important component when it comes to gaming, we have 3 options depending on your budget. All of these are actually good in terms of price or performance, and the first option and the most expensive one is the RX 7800 XT, going for $520 by the time that I'm recording this video. The 7800 XT is a high-end 1440p GPU, so if you want a really good performance at 1440p right now, and you want, for example, a 240Hz monitor to play esports titles as well, this one is going to be your best option. Then moving down, we have the RX 6800 non-XT, which is going for $390, so it's quite cheaper and still an amazing choice for 1440p resolution, 90 plus FPS on average in high demanding titles. And if you want to play esports titles, you will be able to achieve 200 plus FPS depending on the game and the settings with no issues. And honestly, it's an amazing choice, but of course it's slower than the 7800 XT. And also another thing that the 7800 XT has over the 6800 is AV1 encoding, which is going to be helpful if you want to stream on YouTube, as your streaming quality is going to be better. And then the last option, which is the minimum I would recommend for 1440p with a good level of performance, is the RX 6700 XT with 12 gigs of VRAM going for $320, which is going to be a really nice graphics card in terms of price to performance. You will have no issues when it comes to the FPS, but if you want a GPU that's going to be capable of 1440p ultra settings in the future, I think the 7800 XT is your best option. For you to see the difference on a 15 game average at 1440p resolution ultra settings on high demanding titles, the RX 7800 XT got an average of 108 FPS, while the 6800 93 FPS on average, and the 6700 XT 74 FPS on average. All of them actually achieve great performance performance, way over 60 plus FPS, so you will have a smooth experience with any of these GPUs. But of course, the more you spend, the better the performance is right now, and the better the performance will be down the line with new AAA titles coming soon. And then at 1080p on that same 15 game average on ultra settings, the 7800 XT got an average of 147 FPS, while the 6800 127 FPS, and the 6700 XT over 100 FPS. Once again, great performance for all of these GPUs, and as I said before, remember these are high demanding titles. If you want to play easy to run games, you can expect way higher FPS, and I'm talking about over 240. Anyway, for the case, we have the Fractal Design Pop Air RGB ATX mid tower case going for just $90, and honestly, this one is a great quality case with really good airflow and 3 pre-installed fans, which is going to be enough, and you do not have to install any more fans. The other thing I like about this case is that it supports a 405mm graphics card, which means that if you want to upgrade to bigger GPUs that are going to be higher end, most likely they are going to fit into this case. Remember, I am building this PC in terms of price to performance for right now and for the future. And last but not least, we have the power supply in the Enermax Revolution DF2 850 watt 80 plus gold power supply. This unit is A-tier rated, meaning that it's great quality, which is going to be needed if you want to upgrade to a high-end GPU or CPU down the line. And 850 watts is way more than you need for this type of builds, but as I said before, this is an upgradable system, and 850 watts is going to be the sweet spot if you want a higher end GPU. However, I want you to consider 1000 or 1200 watts power supplies if you are thinking of getting the best of the best down the line, like the RTX 5090 coming in 2024, or just very beefy GPUs. Anyway, for the most part, 850 watts is going to be plenty of wattage. Now let's talk about prices. The price for the gaming system with the RX 7800 XT for the GPU, it's $1,300. Then if you downgrade to the 6800 for the GPU, it's $1,175. And if you want to go with the minimum, the RX 6700 XT for the GPU, the total price for the system is going to be $1,105. Now, all of these prices are actually really good considering the performance that you're getting right now and the level of upgradability that you have down the line. But I want to be clear here, if you want the best performance right now and you just want the best price to performance that you can achieve at the moment, you don't really care about the upgradability over time, then I recommend you watching my video on the best gaming PC builds for every budget and every resolution for this month. You will have that video in the top right of the screen, and even though I focus on the best price to performance gaming systems right now on that video, they are also upgradable over time, just not as upgradable as this one. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.